one of the things that he shared with me that was a precursor for getting into the relationship was that the transparency was top notch. It was key. He didn't want any areas of ambiguity. So no matter what the situation was, no matter how it stings, no matter how it will hurt, no matter what it was, you have to be 100 with me. Keep it a buck. Don't let me find out. Come to me. Okay, perfect. Fast forward 2 years into the relationship, him and his girl, they're or woman, they're having a great time. I thought everything was perfect from the outside looking in. That's why you must mind your business. Um, they had a little situation, a little hiccup happened where she has come to him now based on him noticing there was a change in her behavior. She's come to him and shared that there was a momentary lapse of judgment with her and John. Who is John, you may ask? John is her ex-boyfriend that she told her current man um, was not an issue. This was 10 years ago. There's no curiosity, so he has nothing to worry about. He's like a brother. We say that a lot. But anyways, but sometimes we mean it though. So here it is now. What's the momentary lapse of judgment? What is the indiscretion? There was kissing, there was fondling in a moment. How long did that last? I don't know. I didn't think it was appropriate for me to ask. So here it is now. This man is being told that John, who's supposed to be her friend slash brother, has just had inappropriate relations with his woman, though not sex, but it was still inappropriate nonetheless. So here's my question.
All right, so I got a little bit confused because I confused the fact that it was 10 years ago that they had initially got into a relationship from the fact that they have basically known each other for 10 years. All right, so y'all got the full context of it. Her coming clean without him actually catching her, and her also saying that we didn't have sex. Is it a forgivable thing, or do you have to let her go?
Yeah, at my age, with my ego still being where it is, no, yeah, I gotta let you go. Maybe when I get older, I don't know what I'm gonna be when I'm 50, but right now, no.
Quentin?
Yeah.
No.
But no, what? What does it mean?
I'm not taking back no unforgivable lies or indiscretions in 2025 and going forward.
Fatty?
Fix your face, Molly.
I'm probably staying like most men. I'm not going nowhere.
Molly, what do you think he should do?
I think most men aren't going anywhere. I think they'll figure out a way to make it work. He might hold it over her head here and there, but most men
Wasn't
are
these on?
staying.
Wasn't
I
these
don't
on a
know these
walking
type of
Hold on,
station?
men.
hold on. Before everybody go, I want to get everybody's opinion. Kim?
I don't know. I run my personal relationships a little different than most people, but for him, he probably I don't see how he could be comfortable in that situation. You know, this is somebody who she said was, this is like a brother. I mean, that's a very odd. How did you fall into this if this person is like your brother? Like, if he's like your brother and you'll do this, what about the dude down the street that you don't know? Like, are you doing something with him too? Like, I just wouldn't trust her after that.
I'm going to go to Slimmy last. Carrie?
I agree with Molly that a lot of guys would probably get over it, but according to him, she broke his rule because he still had to notice that she was acting funny for her to even say something, according to how she told the story, which to me says, what would you have done if I didn't say that you were acting different? Like you didn't really come to me out of nowhere. You came to me because I noticed something, which goes against his rule. And if there's no marriage and there's no kids, then I mean, I would say you go ahead and you go your way, I go my way. If we hang out and kick it, fine. But clearly there's something that's happening with you and your ex. So
That's the Anton. That's the part.
Hold on. We got to get one more. We got to get Slimmy. I want to get his opinion, and then y'all can go ahead and do y'all thing. Slimmy?
Cancel. That's it. Cancel. It ain't. You lied. You You acting funny afterwards. So flat out, ain't no way you acting funny because you was kissing and hugging on dudes. You smashed. Let's keep it a buck.
What if
Like, ain't no.
hypothetically it was only kissing and hugging?
Why would you be acting different? Because you was kissing and hugging somebody. Like
Kissing
I
is
can
more
see you
intimate.
being, I can see you being sneaky. I don't know. I don't understand how a woman's demeanor towards you would change if she was just kissing and hugging on somebody. That don't make sense. Let's be
The
real. She
The story is
smashed.
real. Yes,
She
smashed it.
smashed this dude. That's why she's acting different.
But
You
let's
can't notice a change in behavior just because somebody do some sneaky shit.
You
Like,
don't
let's
kiss
say she
and
was
hug.
just kissing and hugging. Let's say you it's factual that she was just kissing. Let's say you got a video. Let's say it's on video. She showed it to you.
That's not what the story said, though.
It was kiss. Let's say it was just kissing and hugging.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
You're
but
done. You're done. You lied.
but that's the
Don't
problem with
change.
this story.
You lied.
This story has a bunch of holes. The first one is
This don't make
it,
sense.
it was like a brother. Your ex-boyfriend? How is that possible? It's your
Yeah, how is your ex-boyfriend like your
How
brother?
is your ex-boyfriend like a brother? Like, first, that makes no sense. Second one, ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends don't kiss and hug. They fuck.
Fine,
That's
you
what
know
they
what
do.
it
on
is?
the
He
street. There's
didn't-
no walking. We are already too familiar with each other to walk in on the park with holding hands.
Fadi,
Like,
he didn't have a rule that said you can't be friends with your ex-boyfriend. That's the problem.
no, that was not the problem. That man is innocent, and this is why I probably
What's
will
up with all
say.
these rules? Like,
Why would it have to
we
be a
in
rule?
school?
Y'all don't like that
Come
word, do
on.
y'all? Y'all
Well,
Why would
no,
it have
hold
to
on,
be a
I'm
rule?
about to say a word.
rules.
Let me see if y'all like it.
it's not.
Submit.
It's
That's
not.
just
It's not.
juvenile.
It's not. It's not that we don't. It's not that I don't like the word rule. It's just the way that you're using it. Believe it or not, it kind of says more about you than anything. It comes across as
Or
if
your girl too young or something.
it
No,
comes
let's
across as
have a
if you don't. It comes across as if you don't trust the like self-governing of your woman.
There's nothing to
It
be
comes
trusted.
Yeah, I
it
get
comes
it.
across like it comes across like without you having rules, she will just go and do some old
And it should be.
outlandish stuff.
So
No,
it
no,
make
no, no. You shouldn't. I mean, well, let
yeah
me not tell you what you should do. But that's why when you
yeah
say rule, it's like, wow,
yeah.
if he doesn't come up with a rule,
Hold on, Fadi, I got
then
you.
she's gonna be all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah, no, so that I understand that, and that's your perception. That's how you hear it, right? Because you hear it, you hear what I said, but then you take it into somewhere else, right? But in reality, we all have rules. For example, your man may not be allowed to have sex with other women, but Molly might be like, men are going to be men. Who knows? Everybody might have different rules. We all have rules. You just don't like the way it sounds to hear that we have them.
No,
Yeah,
that was clever though, but that
want you to
wasn't.
use
That
the
but the
word
wasn't
thing
really
boundary
is,
and
the
not
thing is, why
rule.
would you have to
Exactly.
need a rule
Boundaries
to
are
A
not
bad.
boundary
deal
is a
with
rule.
an
It's a
ex?
border.
No,
You
why?
can't cross
You
the
Why
don't
would
need
border.
a
you?
rule to not
No,
deal with your ex when you're in a new
right.
relationship.
No, that's
No,
different.
but
That's
Exactly.
different.
There
what
But
he's
shouldn't.
listen,
You
saying is,
shouldn't
to
have
me.
to have a rule, a boundary. You should not have to have a anything for your the person you're in a relationship with to not do something
how
that
do
crosses the line of their commitment to you.
so,
Like
Carrie? How do
I
you
shouldn't have to have a rule so that
how do
you
you
don't do
Carrie,
it.
Carrie, you have
I
rules
shouldn't.
even if they're
I
not
don't.
spoken.
I don't have
how do you
Okay,
rules
enforce
on my
rules that
husband.
you
I
it
if
was
have
your
not
no
husband,
rule.
communicated?
I have
question,
no rules for my
yeah,
husband.
if your
So
husband
he
did,
can cheat on
if
you?
your husband happened to
I
have
have
sex with,
if my husband makes my husband is a grown man.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
whatever he decides to do is the result of his
yeah,
common sense, good judgment, morals. It's his rules for
It,
himself. It's his boundaries
no,
for himself. It has nothing to do with what I can't put rules on him.
Carrie, you listening with your feelings. He told you something that men heard one way, that the word rule made you feel something. Rules are just boundaries, are deal breakers. You get in front of your husband, your wife gets in front of her husband, and she says, "This is my deal breakers, which are boundaries, which are rules. If you step on these, our relationship
That's
will
not
not."
a rule,
No,
though.
I can
Either,
appreciate what you're
Y'all are
Rules
saying,
come with
but
semantics right
no,
now.
no,
consequences if you break
I
them,
can.
though.
Let me just finish, please.
Go
Either be
ahead.
cheating, either be dressed in a type of way, talking with a certain type of people, sitting on somebody's lap, talking about or sharing your private information, boundaries, rules, whatever. All of this is semantics. Everybody that gets into the relationship have some type of rules. And if I catch you talking on the phone with somebody, I probably establish that I don't want you to be talking with your ex. This is what rules are the agreement that we make when we get together. Because if it's not, I just have one question, and then you got it, Carrie. If you catch your husband cheating, is that something that goes against the rules that you guys established?
That would go against his commitment to me, his promise to me.
So the thing is, he goes against the rules because he promised you a boundary, he promised you something that you would do, and it goes against what you guys agreed upon, right?
It goes against what we agreed upon. Yeah.
So how could you establish something that you agreed upon if you didn't establish boundaries on the beginning of the relationship and told, you know what, baby, I like you, I'm going to be monogamous, exclusive to you, I don't want to be with other woman. You guys talk about it. There's like
No,
That's not a
that
rule,
that
though.
okay,
That's not a
that
rule.
no, but Fatty,
There's not
I
a rule for
understand.
what's the
I
name of it.
understand. No, I understand what I get what you're saying, and I agree
It's an
with you to
expectation.
I agree with you to an extent. But I heard what Mont was saying in you all's earlier conversation and what he's saying now, and he keep it from my perspective, because you're right, this is my perspective and my perception of what you're saying. You kept bringing up the rule, like, one, it's what you've decided, it's what you've come up with for your woman to make sure that she operates a certain way, doesn't do certain things. So for instance, you gave the example of her not working at a job because you don't want her to chance being tempted by a man and doing this and
That's
that.
incorrect.
You have rules. What was incorrect?
Those are
I
not
never
rules.
said that I gave my woman a rule that she can't work because I don't want her to be tempted. When I mentioned not being able to work, it's because I just think that women shouldn't work. It's stressful. They can't deal with the stress.
There's not a rule.
Okay, I misstated. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough, fine.
Like
Then you
is the
went
terms
into
and conditions.
No, it's just expectations.
no.
I know
Then
what
wait
you
my
a minute,
man's
then
Carrie.
you went in.
No,
expectations
it's
are. He
not
knows what mine are. That's not a
expectations. It's
rule,
terms
though.
and conditions. These are the terms and conditions. Let's agree upon on these terms and conditions. If
But
any
some
one
stuff
of us
doesn't have to
go,
be said.
so
It's a
so so so
rule.
Well,
Molly, if you marry somebody or you become monogamous with somebody, there will be terms and conditions. And if you actually breach these terms and conditions, like every agreement, consequences might happen. Some people stay, but for the most part, y'all know, don't spend money on other woman. Don't go ahead and flirt with other woman. Don't be liking pictures on IG. Like
Who's
we
gonna sit there and be doing all of that for a grown-up, though?
So you have no rules with
A
your
lot of
husband?
women,
Like
a
you guys
lot of
didn't agree
women
upon
do that.
nothing?
He's a grown man. If he's
So
gonna do stuff that he knows might upset me,
You're
that's
talking to
on
the wrong
him.
woman, Fatty.
so,
No,
so
not
if your
somebody else.
husband,
But
if
ain't
you
no
Molly don't
rules. He don't
care.
have no rules. I can't tell him what to do.
No.
okay, so if your
I can't tell him where
husband,
to be, when to be, what time to
so
get here, what time.
that's fine.
He either knows what I think is disrespectful or respectful, or he doesn't. But there's no rule.
okay, so
Like,
flip it. No, so
you
let's flip
got
it then. You don't put no
I don't
rules
have
on
no
him.
rules.
Okay, he doesn't put no rules on him. Can you talk with other men?
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
No,
You can.
you
Will
You,
can't.
I and
whoa,
do
whoa, wait,
I
whoa, wait.
is a whole nother question, though. I don't have any rules. I know the
No,
expectations,
Molly.
though, and I know I'm not going to be doing anything disrespectful, but I don't have a rule to
Molly,
it.
today is chill Saturday, so I'm going to USA. I'm going to. It's just a question. If your husband, hypothetical, this never existed. If your husband catching you, for example, sending pictures to Slimmy, and Slimmy sending pictures to you, is that like? Are you breaking a rule of your relationship, or is totally fine? It is what it is. Hey, because you are a grown woman,
It's not a rule.
can you do it
No,
I can do whatever I want.
without
Not a
no,
word
consequence?
game.
so
No,
what,
no, no,
Not
no.
a
what,
One
word
second,
what,
one
game.
second,
I'm
please.
not saying that there won't be a
Can you do
consequence,
it
but
without
there is not a
consequences?
rule against me doing
So
something.
what?
If
So
I
what
choose
happens
to
if
do something, I'm choosing to take whatever consequence comes with that.
so
There ain't
Molly?
no rules behind it, though.
Totally
breaking rules
fine.
has
You know your
consequences.
husband. If he
Ain't no
finds
I
out,
breaking
literally just said
rules. You're
rules
not
have
my
consequences.
daddy. Like,
no,
what does that
if
mean?
he finds out,
Your husband is like a father to
will the
you.
bad
No, he's
any
not.
consequence?
He should be.
If is my mic muted? If he
No, you can
finds
talk.
out, will there be any consequence?
If he finds out, I would not do anything like that.
That was not the question.
The
It's an
hypothetical.
hypothetical. This is a mysterious, fictitious world that will never happen. If
I
he
don't
finds
know.
out
I
that
don't
you
know
are
how he would
sending pictures
handle
to
it. I don't
Swimmy,
know.
would that be any consequence?
I don't know
said
how
she
he
don't
would
know.
handle it.
Fadi, can I have a go? Can I
So,
take
so
it?
wait.
I
So
can't
this
tell
is
you if it
what.
would be a consequence. I don't know. I don't
That
know
makes
how it would go. Like, but it's not no rule behind. Oh, don't do
Okay.
this.
Answer me this.
You
Would you
can't
lie?
use your
Would you lie
phone past
about
a
it?
certain time. You can't.
If
Nobody's
Okay.
policing what I do.
Answer this.
Bro.
Would you lie about it?
Lie about what?
Your indiscretions. Would you lie to your husband about it, or somebody? Would you lie to your significant other about it?
No, probably not.
All right. So look, this is the
We
thing.
talk
This is
about
what they're
everything though,
saying.
so it's like you have to know your person. I could tell him stuff. You know what I mean? He could tell me stuff, and we know that we're not gonna be all acting like children over it. We have more responsibilities than just, oh, are you sending pictures to somebody? I don't care. I have real life business going on. Like, who cares about is you
Absolutely.
sending pictures to somebody when we have a lot of things on our plate? Like, that's
Yes.
stupid.
So if he
I have
grabs
more
his,
things to do than worried about
that's
is he breaking some like
again, there was a hypothetical, but if that man empties his bank account and sends it to another woman because he's in love with her, he's going to
it's
have
his
problems.
money. It's his
So,
money.
you are not going to enforce no
How is he
consequences.
breaking rules with his own money? I don't
Now,
have
Molly,
any rules on his
I'm talking
pockets.
about you. Would you, if you caught your man taking all your money and sending to another woman, wouldn't you enforce any type of consequences to that man on that relationship? Nothing would happen.
I mean, I could bring it up, but what can I do about it if he's gonna
You
constantly
can
send money
leave.
to other people?
You can ask for half of the things. You can cry and pout. You can deny him sex. You can do a bunch of things. Any consequence? Anything?
Fadi, I got another Molly.
Yeah. You
what
can
does
ask me after she answers that. Nothing happens.
If it's gonna be any consequence, no. I mean, like, what am I gonna do?
And I will leave it
I
alone
could be
because
angry, I can be pout, and then what is that gonna solve at the end of
I'll
the
leave
day
it
when we
alone
have X,
because
Y, and
even
Z?
even
We still
even
have things
boyfriends
to
and
do,
girlfriends
though.
that have relationships in high
We're
school
not
have
roommates. We're not
rules,
like boyfriend and
boundaries,
girlfriend.
and deal breakers. If people that are
Well,
married have assets
granted,
together,
Molly's different. She's
oh yeah, of
no,
course
she's
he's
not
different.
the.
Yes,
She's
everybody's
different.
different. Yes.
I think what y'all missing though in the conversation is what these women are trying to convey is that it's about self-respect. And that's what Anton was actually saying earlier. You respect yourself enough to not ruin your relationship. You respect
Mhm.
yourself enough to not put yourself in a jeopardizing situation. So that would be the first thing, that the first line of defense is your own moral code against what you shouldn't be doing. That's what they saying. That's why they saying it's not no rules, because you don't have to have any rules because you have a standard for yourself. There
Between
are
two
no
Mhm.
people, there has to
rules.
be rules.
That's
My
why. That's
standard,
why. That's why when it was stated that there was, like, why would there be a rule for her to know not to talk to her ex? Hell no, that shouldn't be a rule. You know within yourself,
Exactly.
if you respect the man that you're with, you wouldn't it wouldn't even be a thing.
there's
Really,
no.
just being honest, it
Slimmy
really wouldn't
question?
even be a thing.
Slimmy
Is that
question.
why it's called an unwritten
Slimmy question.
rule? Is that why
And
is
your
that where that term
is
came
your
from?
Slimmy, is your girl allowed to flirt with other men?
Allowed.
What do you mean
Yes,
allow?
what
She's
are
gonna
these
have enough
words?
respect.
No.
She's gonna
Y'all
she's
niggas
gonna
with these
have
words
enough
is
Is
ridiculous.
that
respect.
Y'all niggas
permissible in your
Wait. Listen. First off, I don't have no girl. But if I did, she's going to have enough respect for herself to not be in nobody else's face,
I
knowing
just
that
want
she's
you to
an
ask it.
extension of who I am.
So we
I
might as well
just
not
want you
even
to
answer
answer the
the question
question.
if y'all
Is
gonna
that
if y'all gonna
permissible
bring
I
in your
literally just
relationship?
answered the question.
Is it
And
permissible within your relationship to flirt with other men?
Myron Gaines.
Wait, what?
Is it permissible within your relationship for your woman to flirt with other men?
I just said she's not going to do that if she respects herself and respects me.
Yeah. No, I don't.
She knows that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm not worried about her at all, right? I'm just you, right? Is it permissible within a relationship that you'll enter into for a woman to flirt with other men?
Why would she do that? If she's with me,
Everybody's
why would
different.
she do that?
I don't know.
It's not
But
about
is
saying
that permissible?
No, you can't use certain words. I'm already answered it. And I told you what
I don't think
I
you
already told you.
You're new to arguing with
Decide
Slimmy,
to
so
listen,
you need
wait, stop. If you decide to be in a relationship with somebody, you know you can't flirt with other people.
Thank you. Stop there. Stop
Exactly.
there.
It's against the
Thank
rules.
you.
You
Thank
can
you.
still
There's a
do
rule.
it
There's
though.
1 second, please.
It's not permissible. I don't get it.
That's like Quinton said, an implicit rule. How are these two words? Implicit is one, and the second one, rule. There's an implicit rule. I get with you. We are monogamous. Is implicit that I'm not with other people. That's the point. There's a deal breaker. If I be with another person, I am breaking the implicit rule that we should be together with each other. There's nothing to be a sign or something like that, but respectfully, if I have my standards and my beliefs, and you have your standards and your beliefs, we have to get to a middle ground so I can know when I go to that motherfucking toilet, if I put it up or if I put it down. We have to agree with each other to the bare minimum of things, let alone big things. But you guys are playing semantics. We don't have to agree because rules
No,
have
Yo,
to
you
be
didn't
we don't
listen.
have
You
specified.
didn't.
rules
You
in our
didn't.
You don't
relationship.
have
Wait,
to
wait, wait.
Sorry,
agree.
Stop.
Anton.
Y'all gotta stop badgering this out, man. Like you literally got the answer and you still want to keep
And
going.
and and you are the
I
one
li-
keeping going. You see, I said my statement. You decided to keep going. You can stop, and I'll stop. We both stop. You see,
it's
that's how it
over
goes.
there. Moving on.
So I'm
So
Moving
gonna
on.
jump
I had a
there
question.
for
I had
a
a
second.
question for Molly.
Oh, can I say something?
Oh yeah,
So
go ahead.
I understand what you guys are saying about like this person is not going to go against their own self-respect. They should have enough respect for you, for them, all of that. But kind of what Fatty is saying is like there's probably something that will cause you to walk away from this relationship. Like if this man punches you in your face, you're not just going to sit there and take it. You can call it a rule, you can call it a boundary, you can call it a limit or whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it ends up kind of being a rule.
What I was trying to say was I understand what you're saying, Fatty. I understand the notion of having boundaries. I understand, especially when you went to the toilet seat up or down. I'm not saying that none of those things exist. What I am saying is the way that Mont kept throwing in, you got to have a rule for that. You got to have a rule for that. It came across as if he was saying the only way to keep his woman in the way that she should be going is there has to be an established rule. But you
Yes.
guys seem to have taken it like I was so triggered by the word rule itself, which I'm not. It was just wow, why does he need to have a rule for her to not go kick it or talk to her ex-boyfriend? Why would he need to have a rule for her to dress appropriately?
Because
Why would because some of the things you name, in my opinion, should be things that, but regardless of what you want, her own form of self-governing, her own form of self-respect, her own form of decision making should be at a level where there doesn't need to be a spoken or unspoken rule about it. That was
because
my point,
because
was
sometimes you
where
don't
he was using rule.